Hi everyone and welcome to Math by TV. Let's see if you are ready for Algebra 1. Here I'm going to give you 10 Algebra Readiness check problems. What I want you to do is pause the video, try each problem on your own, and then we'll solve it together. Keep track of how many problems you get correct because we'll check your score at the end. With that, let's begin. Skill number 1, Factors and GCF. Find the GCF of 24 and 36. Pause the video and try it on your own first. Remember, GCF stands for greatest common factor, so we're looking for the largest factor that both numbers share. Let's begin by listing the factors of 24. And so that is 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. Now let's list the factors of 36, and they are 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, and 6 and 6, but we just need to list the 6 once. Now let's underline the common factors. So they share 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. But the greatest common factor, or GCF, is 12 for both 24 and 36. So why it matters? You'll use the GCF when simplifying fractions and algebraic expressions in Algebra 1. With that, let's move on to skill number 2. Skill number 2, simplifying fractions. Simplify 18/24. Pause the video and try this on your own first. Now, to simplify a fraction, find the GCF of the numerator and denominator, which means the GCF of 18 and 24 is 6. That means we're going to divide 18 and 24 by 6. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. And 24 divided by 6 is 4. So the final answer is 3/4. Now, why it matters, fractions appear throughout algebra. Now let's move on to skill number 3. Skill number 3, fraction operations. We have to add 3/4 plus 2/3. So go ahead and pause the video and try this on your own first. Before we can add fractions, they need a common denominator. And the least common denominator of 4 and 3 is 12. The reason why that is because the denominators are small enough to multiply together to give us 12. Not only that, both 4 and 3 divide evenly into 12 without a remainder. So now let's go ahead and manipulate 3/4. So since the least common denominator is 12, we're going to turn this 4 into 12. And we can do that by multiplying it by 3. But remember, whatever you do in the denominator, you must also do in the numerator. So we'll also multiply by 3 in the numerator. And so this fraction becomes 9/12. Now let's take a look at the second fraction, 2/3. So we can turn this 3 into 12. We can do that by multiplying it by 4. And so we're also going to multiply the numerator by 4. And so this fraction is now 8/12. So now we can add the fractions because we have the same denominator or common denominators. And so we keep that denominator of 12. Add across the numerators, 9 plus 8 is 17. So the answer is 17/12, or as a mixed number, 1 and 5/12. Final answer. Why it matters? Well, many algebra problems involve fractions. So let's move on to skill number 4. Skill number 4, decimals. We have 7.25 minus 3.68. Go ahead and pause the video and try to solve this on your own first. So we have to line up the decimal points carefully and subtract. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have 7.25 minus 3.68. And so we're going to solve this without a calculator here. So we know that we cannot take 8 from 5. So we can try to borrow from here, but we cannot take 6 from 2 either. But what I do know is that we can take 3 from 7. And since we can take 3 from 7, well, we can borrow 1, so the 7 becomes a 6. And since we borrowed 1, then the 1 is added over here, and so 2 becomes 12. So now we can see that we can take 6 from 12. Now we still cannot take 8 from 5, right? But we can borrow 1 over here. So that 12 then becomes 11. And since we borrowed 1, then the 5 becomes 15. So now you just subtract as you normally would. So we can take 8 from 15, which is 7. We can take 6 from 11, which is 5. Bring down your decimal point straight down. And you can take 3 from 6, which is 3. And so the final answer here is 3.57. Why it matters? Decimals appear frequently in algebra and real-world applications. So let's move on to skill number 5. Skill number 5, percents. Find 15% of 80. Pause the video and try this out first. So we first have to convert 15% to a decimal. So 15% as a decimal is 0.15. So we'll write that here. So we'll say 15% is 0.15. Now multiply, because remember, of simply means multiply, right? So that means we take 0.15, we multiply that by 80, and 0.15 times 80 equals 12. Final answer. Now, why it matters? Percents connect fractions, decimals, and proportions. So let's go ahead and move on to skill number 6. Skill number 6, signed numbers. Here we need to multiply -4 times -6. Go ahead and pause the video and try this on your own. So when multiplying integers, specifically what we have here, a negative times a negative, it becomes a positive, meaning that -4 times -6 equals positive 24. And that's the final answer. Why it matters? Negative numbers appear constantly in algebra. So let's go ahead and move on to skill number 7. Skill number 7, order of operations. So go ahead and pause the video and try to solve this one on your own first. All right, so let's go ahead and write that acronym GEMDAS or PEMDAS. So you may have learned it as GEMDAS or PEMDAS, so I'll just write G/P. G is for grouping symbols, P is for parentheses. And then, of course, we have E for exponents, M for multiplication, D for division, A for addition, and S for subtraction. All right, so let's go ahead and follow this process. So, of course, when it comes to the order of operations, we have to perform what's in grouping symbols or parentheses first. So, of course, we have 3 plus 3 inside the parentheses or grouping symbols. So we'll go ahead and solve for that. Bring everything down first. So we have 18 divided by, and 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 squared. Next, we have exponents. So we have 2 squared. So that's what we're going to solve next. So we'll bring everything else down. 18 divided by 6 plus 2 squared is simply 2 times 2, which is 4. Continuing on, now we have multiplication or division, whichever appears first from left to right. So we have division in this case. So we are dividing. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Bring down your plus 4. And of course, now we are adding 3 plus 4 equals 7. Final answer. Why it matters? Following the correct order of operations prevents mistakes in algebra. So let's go ahead and move on to skill number 8. Skill number 8, evaluating expressions. Evaluate 3x minus 2y when x equals 5 and y equals 2. Pause the video and try it on your own. So to solve this, we need to substitute the values. We see that x is given to us as 5 and y is given to us as 2. Let's go ahead and do that. 3 times x is 5. Bring down your minus. 2 times y is 2. 3 times 5 is 15. Bring down your minus sign. 2 times 2 is 4. 15 minus 4 equals 11. Final answer. Why it matters? Variables are the language of algebra. So let's go ahead and move on to skill number 9. Skill number 9, solving equations. We have 3x minus 4 equals 17. Go ahead and pause the video and try to solve this on your own. So we need to undo subtraction by adding 4 to both sides. So let's go ahead and add 4 on the left and on the right. And of course, we see here that the minus 4 plus 4 cancel out. We are left with 3x on the left equals 17 plus 4 is 21. Now we have to undo multiplication. We can do that by dividing by 3 on both sides. And of course, the 3's cancel out. We are left with x equals 21 divided by 3 is 7. X equals 7 is the final answer. So why it matters? Solving equations is one of the most important algebra skills. Let's move on to skill number 10. Skill number 10, solving inequalities. So we have 2x plus 1 is less than 9. Go ahead and pause the video and try this on your own first. So first of all, we need to undo addition by subtracting 1 on both sides. So we'll subtract 1 on the left and on the right. And as you can see, the plus 1 minus 1 cancel out. We are left with 2x is less than 9 minus 1 is 8. Now we can undo multiplication by dividing by 2 on both sides. The 2's cancel out. We are left with x is less than 4. Final answer. Why it matters? Inequalities are similar to equations, but they have many possible solutions. So let's go ahead and stick around for the scorecard next. How many of the 10 skills did you get correct? Remember, the stronger your foundation, the easier algebra becomes. So I want to thank you for watching and stay tuned for more calm, clear math lessons right here on Math by TV.